stop sacrificing your truth at the altar of peace. Because what you call harmony is actually emotional avoidance. All of this empathy that you think you embody, all of this harmony, all of this niceness you create in your environment, all the people that love you regardless of how you feel, it's not the truth. You are repressing an emotion that wants to surface. Your nervous system speaks the love language of truth. The more you allow yourself to be who you actually are, to be honest, to be truthful, to be authentic, the more your nervous system is registering that there's no danger around. Because the danger that was around when you spoke the truth in the past as a child or in situations that were traumatizing for you developmentally, you were yourself and you were punished. You were rejected in some way. Somebody told you when you were angry, for example, or when you shared what you really think about a situation or about someone, you got rejected. You got told the way you are is not okay. Don't say that. Go into your room, be by yourself and think about what you just said. What this creates is your brain connecting the act of speaking your truth, the act of being truthful and speaking about your anger or what makes you angry with threat. And now, whenever it comes to you being angry or having certain thoughts, you're not allowing yourself to express these thoughts because that would mean recreating the same abandonment that you experienced in the past. And what happens then is, instead of being truthful, instead of being honest and authentic, you create a version of yourself that is wearing a mask. And the mask that this part of you is wearing, the mask that this expression of yourself is wearing, is the mask of niceness and empathy. You're nice to everyone. You're making sure that everybody feels good and everything is harmonious. But behind the mask of that niceness, of that people-pleasing, is unbound rage and a whole array of unexpressed emotions that are banging at the door of your consciousness and that express themselves as stress. So in this video, we want to talk about how you can use truth, how you can utilize truth and authenticity, how to get there in the first place, but ultimately how you can feel safe in your nervous system while speaking your truth. So if you're not speaking your truth, you're not only losing the connection, because you can imagine if you're not allowing yourself to say what's on your mind, it's almost like you are putting a part of yourself on the bench and it's not allowed to be here. So you are fracturing your psyche, you're fracturing yourself in the service of someone else, in the service of a threat that is no longer here, that your nervous system still perceives in the here and now. So you're splitting parts off that you think are not safe to express. And these parts are not gone. These parts are suppressed in your subconscious. And when you suppress parts of you, that means you're not embodying your full self. You're not allowing everything that you are to be here. And if you're not allowing everything you are to be here, you are not allowing the fullness of you into connection. So in some sense, you're losing two things. You're losing that real, truthful connection to someone else, and you're losing the connection to yourself. And this creates almost a liminal relational space in which you're not really here, in which you feel like the world is like puffy and you're not really like you're distracting from the world and you feel like anxious and all of these things. Because of course, if you're not connected to that life force energy, to that anger that wants to flow through you and that wants to bring you where you want and establish the life that belongs to you, that is made for you, that you're worthy of, and you're not feeling connected to other people because your nervous system is constantly registering threat. You cannot be yourself because that would mean you're being threatened. You're restaging the original abandonment of the childhood. Of course, your nervous system is going to be in a constant freeze or fawn response. It's either freezing, and this is called the invisibility syndrome. You're like completely invisible. You're like, yeah, I'm not really here. I'm only there for other people and I don't really have a body. I'm like this ghost and I don't have needs. I don't need anyone and I just need you to be happy and then I'm happy as well, as if this thing here doesn't exist. It makes you invisible. Because you are in a sense invisible to other people. If you don't really show the fullness of your being, parts of you will remain invisible. And this invisibility will grow because you're constantly retraining your brain and your nervous system that the threat is actually here. So you're sacrificing the connection to yourself and the connection to other people. The price that you pay for the harmony that you try to hold up is the part that is dying beneath the mask. And the part that is dying beneath the mask is the real destination, the best destination for your empathy to actually go. Maybe it's not about being empathetic towards other people. Maybe it's finally time to be empathic towards the part that you repress. And if you're an empath, if you observe people-pleasing patterns in yourself, if you're an empathic human being, chances are that you're not in touch with your anger, that you have problems saying no, that you have problems setting boundaries, that you do things that you don't really want to do. And the thing that breaks that spell is anger. That doesn't mean you have to go around and insult people left and right. That means developing a relationship to your healthy no, to the sense of this is me and this is where other people end. And this is my truth. This is what I actually want. And we do that bit by bit. And there's 3 different dimensions that we can look at in order for you to establish that healthy relationship with anger and with your truth. So the first dimension is the somatic dimension. If you're an empath, you will most likely experience moments in which you are resentful, in which you feel like, oh, I've done so much and I'm not getting anything back. I feel like, oh, fuck, why am I always doing things for people and never is someone calling me? I'm always doing the dishes and I'm always doing this and that. I'm always caring for other people, but nobody cares for me. And you can already feel that anger, feel that resentment building up within you. And you want to become conscious of the moment where this resentment builds up. And what you do then is you find a secluded space in your room, in your house, whatever, and you let out that anger somatically. And there's a few ways where you can do this. You can do a silent scream, so you feel that resentment bubbling up. And what you do then is you scream without making a noise. For example, if you're at work, if you're, I don't know, on a public toilet or whatnot, this is works really well. So it looks like this. I'm being resentful. Feel that anger coming up and you're letting that anger out. You're tensing your body. You imagine the scream in your head and the aggression in this. You're screaming it out. Another thing you can do is shaking your body. You're just shaking your body, activating that energy and getting in touch with it. The third thing you can do is actually screaming into a real pillow. This you can do when you're at home if you're brave enough. This is usually the best way. So it's either doing a silent scream, it's shaking your whole body, really shaking that thing out. Imagine your feet are locked onto the ground, they're growing roots into the ground, and you're sending impacts through your body, and you're just shaking all out with your hands as well. And the third thing is actually screaming. The second thing is that you can do is if you don't feel safe enough to express the truth directly to someone, then you can express the truth indirectly to someone. This doesn't mean being passive aggressive. This actually means channeling what you actually want to say, the words unsaid. This is what the practice calls. It's a word unsaid practice. You are writing down everything that you would like to say to someone that you don't allow yourself to actually say. There's a few ways which you can do this. I just said you can write it down. First thing you can do. Second thing you can do is you take a chair, you place that chair in front of you, facing towards you, and you imagine that person sitting on that chair, and you just have a conversation with it. You just have a conversation with that human that you actually are angry towards, and you're saying all the things that you're holding back. And the cool thing about this, is whether you're writing or whether you're speaking the words out loud, you are getting into a kind of trance state. You're saying the words, speaking the truth, and more layers of the truth will start to unlock. More layers of the truth will unfold, and you will get more access, and more ideas will come. Oh, and this and that, and this and that, and the words will just flow you, and that healthy anger is built and released and channeled either through your words verbally or through your words in written form. This is the second thing you can do. And the third thing you can do is you find someone that you feel safe with, and you do a practice that is close to the second practice that I just described. You sit in front of the other person. You have eye contact. This is really important to have eye contact because we want to establish the connection. If eye contact is too much for you and you feel like huge amount of anxiety, then I recommend you closing your eyes, or something. You just do whatever feels good for you. But I recommend you really look in the eyes of the other person. And then you want to give them a live stream sort of what you're thinking. And the intention here is not to project on the other person and to insult them or to be aggressive towards them. You want to be aggressive towards them, but the intention is not to do damage. The intention is to say all the words that you want to say. So the pressure cooker that's been built up within you, this pressure, this stress, can finally release. You look that person in the eyes and you sort of give them a live stream of what is happening within you. This has 3 layers. The first layer, I talked about this in the videos about the 3 layers of truth. The first layer is your mind. What are you thinking? And you're going to phrase that the following way. My head is thinking that you are dangerous. My head is thinking, I want to hurt you. My head is thinking, I hate this moment. My head is thinking, when I did this, I felt so much anger. It's the first dimension. The second dimension is tension. I feel tension is sensation. Could be I feel tensions in my hands. I feel tension in my stomach. I feel tension in my chest, in my jaw. I feel relaxation. I feel warmth in my chest, coldness here in my stomach. And then the third dimension, which is different from the sensations, are the emotions. I feel anger. This is really powerful in of itself. Look someone in the eyes and don't say, I feel angry about you, because this would be a thought. This would be the mental dimension of truth. My head thinks I'm angry at you. But the reality is, if you're honest, all that is happening somatically in your feeling world is there's anger. I feel anger. And saying I feel anger that clearly to someone is really, really powerful. And then maybe the anger turns into grief. The anger turns into a feeling of softness. Now that you've released it, maybe you feel joyous. You feel, I feel relaxation. My head thinks I feel good. I feel warmth in my chest. I feel happiness. I feel aliveness. And you bring that into connection. So what we're doing here is we are constantly sharing our experience. We're live streaming our experience to someone else. And we're being as truthful as we can. And we are differentiating thoughts, sensations, and emotions. And we're communicating on these 3 streams of information. All set apart. There's boundaries between them. And this automatically opens up a room of truth in which real connection can exist, in which you can say things without blame, without judgment, without like a weird power dynamic happening, because you're just saying what's going on within you. You do nothing more. You're just saying, this thought is coming to my head now. I'm experiencing this sensation here and this emotion here. And you are just opening up the box of your awareness, the room of your awareness, and you allow other people to get a look into what it's like to be you. And this never happened before. If you're traumatized, this probably never happened before properly. We feel like we're not enough. We are ashamed of ourselves. We are confronted with this shell that is around us, this protective layer that is like, I can't be myself because I'm getting punished. How healing it is to make the experience that the fullness of yourself is welcome. Yes, your anger, but also your shame, everything that is going on. Opening up, allowing yourself with the full permission to be here with someone that is not running away, that is not trying to manipulate you, that is not trying to attack you or be angry at you in return, but is there looking at you, taking in your experience without taking it personally, because once and for all, it's about you in that situation. It's about your truth, your reality that is starting to emerge, that is starting to open up and be available to someone else. And this is connection. You're building a bridge. You're opening the doors of your experience and you let people in. Let's get very, very practical. The more you do that, the more your nervous system is learning an alternative to the notion of constant threat. Usually your nervous system thinks people are bad, life is bad, I need to run away, I need to fight because I need to defend myself constantly. I'm in constant threat. Of course, your nervous system thinks that if it has never learned that the alternative can be just as true. And these three practices ultimately lead you into a reality and into an experience where your nervous system is anchored in a different experience. The experience of safety and agency and of power. You're allowed to be yourself. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to channel that anger in healthy ways. Make a bridge out of it. Make connection out of it. Make love out of the anger. Make a relationship out of the anger. Let it become a door to relationship rather than a block to relationship. Let it become a bridge to love rather than an impediment of love. All that you are is welcome. I want you to truly start believing that. And with these three practical steps, these three practical portals, you will go there, trust me. So let me know in the comments if that resonated with you. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.